Welcome back, everybody. Ystrad Mynach, for the last time, plays host to a final match in this year's Six Nations Women's Summer Series. And at the end of 3 match days, after 8 matches so far in the competition, it is an England against France encounter to round things off. The two teams who are unbeaten in the competition so far, England having defeated Scotland, then Italy, whilst the French beat Italy up first, then Ireland. And it is a rematch from the Summer Series last year, when the French in Italy were irresistible to the point of winning 72 points to 21 against England. They've been in scintillating form this season so far, but so too have England. We are all set for Le Petit Crunch. The anthem's up first. At under-20s level, it is the French that carry the form in this particular fixture, and this is the selection for the final match in this year's Summer Series. France make 7 changes in all to the team to face England that won last time out. They have changed things up, particularly the spine of their team. At hooker, Tiffany Lesieux is back in the starting 15. Then at 8, Eva Toon gets a first start in the competition. At 9 and 10, 2 new halfbacks starting, Pauline Borat and Suliana Sivi, although both were fantastically well positioned in that first match to get the nod for this match. Alice Grandhomme is also in the side on the wing, as well as Malise Borak and Agathe Fournier in the starters. For England, it is fewer changes that they've made for this team. It's a merging of the two teams that we've seen so far. In comes Grace Clifford, a try scorer against Scotland. In comes Annabelle Meta at number 8. Amelia McDougall will play at scrum half today, partnering Ella Cromack at 10, and Leah Green gets her second start of the campaign at fullback. Well, there's talent everywhere you look, at any number really, across both France and England. For England, the likes of Daisy Aspinall and Ala Latoui will certainly have impacts, and for the French, they could switch it up in any which way they want. Alina Folitou and Justine Augier, just 2 players who have both scored hat-tricks in this competition that the French could call upon. Pauline Borat gets us underway in the last match of the Under-20 Six Nations Summer Series. And England begin with a knock-on from the restart. It's going to be hotly contested at every point of contact today. World Cup winner Amber Reid is alongside me. And Amber, France and England, do they bring out the best in each other in women's rugby at every level, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that over the years, and particularly the last few years in terms of the Six Nations. It's been the fixture that's played last. England v France. Some has seen it as the final. And it's hotly contested because you have to be at your best to come out with the win. You can't go in at 70, 80% and expect to win against a team firing. So it's going to be a great contest today.
Well, France have had the most successful scrum in the competition so far, and they were rock solid right from the off. Barat gets them moving, and they will be at a furiously fast pace right from the off. And they are, on that occasion, a little over their own high-speed beginnings, and that dribbles out to touch. Millie David making sure.
Just early warning signs of how the French want to play. We've seen this characteristically. They're going to play to the edge. Their backs have fired. Just on that occasion, just lacking the accuracy to find Granholm and give her space with ball.
England's captain Lucy Calladine with the line-outs. And McDougall wearing 9 today, straight into Meta's hands. And that's the kind of physical confrontation she can provide. England with that half break in Parry's hands, and that would have been interesting had she managed to slip that on. There was a hint of making that a nice out of the tackle pass, but didn't land.
Girls, we've got to set up quicker, okay?
Both teams started with intent. Lovely line from Parry there, just couldn't quite keep hold of the ball, but again showing what she can do in that midfield.
Crouch! Bind!
Barat gets ready again, and she will let Toon go away with this, and that's straight into Sivi Suliani's hands, and the step on the inside is befuddling for England. She eases into the 22, and France pick and go using Zoe Jean in that 7 shirt for them, and Chloe Correa will take the next carry, and she will carry all day for this French team, particularly when things open up. She can be so dangerous. England shutting the doors close to the ruck.
7 offside, back foot.
As they know France can go right through you if you let them. Still these contacts making meters for the French as Barat picks and goes to the left, and then England are having to really pile in here, but the ball is on the floor and over the line from France. The muscle pays off, and France have the first score after 3 minutes, scored by Melise Borak, the loosehead prop.
The art of deception at that set piece. Everything normally comes through Barat, but they used her on a decoy run and hit down the blind side, and here just full force streeting the England defenders left on the floor. And again, Barat working in and around the base.
Barat, the first eyeing up at the posts, and the first points from the team. Pauline Barat begins her afternoon creating a try and then converting it, and she is the dictator of tempo in this French side. Well, it's a blow to England, but it's not a start they won't have expected from the French. LJ Lewis was saying ahead of the match, though, that this week has been entirely focused on themselves, not looking at where the French could be unpicked in any way. They're just looking to do what they've been doing in their matches and do it better. And reach that next level of performance that they will need today against this French team.
Yeah, it's going to have to be England's best performance of the series so far. And conversely, France are going to have to step up their game against this English side as well. But Can see what England trying to do, retain possession off that kick, but this is a really dangerous place now for France to attack.
Set.
Zuliana Civi is France's fly half. She then moves open to the open side, gets it from Barat here, takes it to the line, right round the back, and holes opening up for the French. That was Psyche up from full back. Very lively number 15 for France. Barat doesn't have many forwards at speed, but they wanted to go round the back here, and the pass goes to the floor off the blindside flanker. It was Soqueta. Still they make headway though, France, even when things don't go to plan.
Advantage, 3, not rolling.
Civi really deep here, and Psyche has not grabbed that at all. Advantage was coming though. France
Number
and Barat
3.
are going to take this quickly. They don't have many numbers in front of them. Goes to the floor, it doesn't matter. Into the hands, that's brilliant though. Cogny knocks on with the line begging, and England saved themselves. In the end, they hauled down the threats of France.
Scrum here, guys. It was knock on before.
So Cogny is one of the most dangerous attackers in this French team. She hasn't yet scored in the competition, actually. So many times she's come close. A foot in touch once, a ball dropped close to the line, and another there. But she really is a player to watch for France, the number 14.
Bind.
So England's Amelia McDougall, who played 10 against Scotland and played 10 with great accomplishment against Scotland as well. But she's being given the opportunity to play 9 as a fantastic ball player. England want to get two of their best ball players on the park for as long as possible with Cromack and McDougall. So the Saracens fly half is in at number 9 today. She has played there before for this England under-20s team against South Africa in April.
Bind. Set.
So it's not an entirely new combination. England under a touch of pressure. Meta looks to relieve some of that.
No, back foot.
And England fighting hard to get extra metres for Ella Cromack and her clearing tactics. She's got a massive boot, has Cromack. And so when they get it to her, it can go downtown quickly. Instead, England want to run it though from here. France reset it up. Civi watched carefully. There's Talalua. And there's Korea.
Advantage is over.
Right into her opposite number, Kiwi Fitzpatrick. They come through the middle again, and they come quickly, this French team. English jerseys lacking in the backfield there. Had Tiffany Lezieux got that through.
Ball is there, ball is there. Back.
Korea. Millie David punching well above her weight in bringing down the French lock forward. Here's the try scorer, Barak, making meters every time she heads into contact. Pauline Barat is held up.
Held up. Goal line.
English defence looks stressed there. A couple of half breaks from the French, but they do so well to just regroup. Initially, she's held up short there, but they do a great job in just rolling her back over that try line, which means it gets held up rather than another opportunity for the French to attack
We'll just wait for
the
her.
English whitewash.
We'll just wait for her. Okay. And she's coming on.
So Annabelle Meta, unfortunately for England, is having to leave the pitch. For how long, we don't know. But she's had a purposeful beginning, which England will miss out on for the next period, certainly. Latui's on for her. France and Grandhomme begin this counter. Good pass to Talalua. Dark blue jerseys keep coming for England, but on the floor, they get a victory.
Yeah, Meta be a huge loss to this England side. She's done so much work in the opening 10 minutes of this game, but having said that, her replacement is equally adept at providing front football and putting herself about in defence as well.
Thank you.
Lovely turnover there. Straight on the ball. McQueen so quick in, like any good open side. Locked in, immovable by the French clearers.
Caladine looks for McQueen. England are going to get it back. Cromack can't take that cleanly.
Yeah, no contact in the other. No.
England have the penalty from Jess Kavanagh, our referee today, by the way. We didn't get a chance to introduce her, but Jess from the Welsh
I was
Rugby
waiting
Union.
for you to see if you can play something off that, okay? Yeah, that's fine.
On 15, Jess, not 5.
Guys, on the 15. No, on the 15. Okay.
Cromack uses the power of her right boot to good effect.
France.
It's going to be a very useful tool today. Cromack's kicking out of hand.
That is you. Don't close the gap.
It's such a big boot as well. If she can just match that with the accuracy, it's a real weapon to allow England
please,
to
France,
manipulate France into moving around the park.
Stolen by the French. Barat away to Correa. And that's kept alive somehow. French offloading is again one of the assets that they top the statistics on in this summer series. They go for more and more stick than any other team. Cromack is back for England. A short pass here. Leah Green at speed. And England resource the ruck well. Caladine now. McDougall, Cromack. And that's a stinger onto the hands of Sarah Parry, but she takes it well, and she's off. Parry looking to get in behind the French, and lovely stepping from the Harlequin. Millie David catches it. She'll take them on. She'll take them all on. France get back to shut down her options. Here's Latouille. So England, through Sarah Parry, getting in behind France for the first time and causing some panic. Adonry. Really hard line being cut here now by England. They are challenging the French, and it's opening up. McDougall is away. Amelia McDougall for the line for England. And she scores. And England open the first account of the day. Amelia McDougall's vision and England's lead.
Very good at a show and go from fly half, and on this occasion she just looks at her runners on the outside. Latouille's there, uses them as decoy, and it opens up in front of her. And like you say, she's got the vision, she understands how to read the game, and if you leave a space that big, she is definitely going to take it and has the pace to finish.
Cromack, excellent off the tee, so we're all square, 7 points each. And England showing just what they're about. And just why they selected Cromack and McDougall at 9 and 10.
Do we have a sub coming on, Lee? Nothing? Time off. Time off. We have a player coming off. Yeah.
So Jasmine Adonri, unfortunately, holding her shoulder, making her way to the sidelines. England suffering 2 injuries early on, which has seen Adonri leave and Annabelle Meta as well. So entering proceedings, Tyler Shirley, wearing 19 for England. Barat right on the heads of England and into the sun, but it's England to deal with it.
Ball is out.
Lesieux steals it off the English, and right through goes Korea. She'll look for the offload. If France can pick this up, they'll score, but they knock it on in the process. The direct route works so often for France, Amber.
And the direct route often works for Chloe Correa.
England ball.
To try assist in the last game, straight through the middle of the ruck, something that England will have seen. They need to be mindful of bodyguard, so there's 2 positions that are stood left and right. They have to be name checking. If they see Chloe Correa in that space, they know she's going to take advantage and go through the middle. She has to be marked, but wonderful bit of play from her.
Bind! Set!
McDougall, the Saracen, and a very impressive PWR season behind her, as Latouille loses the ball off the back of that scrum. She made good yards initially. France giving it to Psyche, who came into the line, but a second too late that pass was made, and it went forward.
You see that intent from the French. Every time they go from defence to attack, their transition is so quick. They're looking to move that ball 2 passes, and then whoever's dropped in the backfield from the kick is coming on at full pace. Saiki in that example just overruns it slightly, but you can see how excited they get about an attack and how quickly they want to move the ball to space.
Crouch! Bind!
England's excursion upfield has been put in the wing mirrors by France. They're back in enemy territory, and from the base,
7.
England will have the penalty.
7.
It was Zoe Jean who's penalised for hands in the scrum.
Scrum's going to be a critical area. France want to get go forward so Barat can run off that base and have a really nice platform. What England need to do, they have to match it or give France a slight shove, which allows then the defence to come up and put pressure on, rather than Barat having free rein to control and dictate this game like she has so far in this tournament.
Caladine. Perfect conditions this Thursday evening in Ystrad Mynach for running rugby, and Latouille with her second run after coming off the bench, and that one is recycled well and quickly, and England have somehow kept hold of this. Just a few wires getting crossed, but nonetheless it's England's ball still. Cromack though sees her kick charge down.
Offside. Offside.
I feel like Parry was tackled before she even had the ball
offside.
Then. But again, the centres comparing. Parry hitting some really nice lines so far.
Cromack gets good distance, but not to the touch. So France will play it with Sivi. And she is so menacing as a runner. Suliana Sivi keeps it alive as well. Straight through the middle. Here come France. The dummy sold, and it's a race for the line all the way. France score an absolute stunner. Faustine Pisichelli, the player to run it in from distance. She's given a more creative role outside the number 10 today, and she has made England pay.
And again, Cromac not finding touch, and France the intent to move the ball. Chloe Flanagan, the only real chaser for that England side in midfield, and you can't do that against this French team. You have to go in threes minimum to close that space. They're so dangerous at just being able to move the ball out in front of runners who are coming on at pace. Pisichelli with the wonderful vision, just throw the dummy, and then the pace to go and finish as well.
Barat trains it in on goal. France with all 14 from their 2 tries. They lead England 14-7.
And this is where we've seen France be so dangerous in other games. They get a couple of scores and then they start to pull away. What this England side can't let happen is for France to score next. They have to get back at them. They have to play some rugby in this French half. And they have to be the next team to score.
Just about goes 10, and England claim it. Sarah Parry rising into the air to do so. Here is Grace Clifford. Try score against Scotland. Into the heavy traffic goes Lucy Sams. Cromac and Latui, who's really putting herself about Amber after coming off the bench.
Yeah, I think she's had more carries in this game than round 2, and more effective carries as well.
Advantage.
Green is effectively carried backwards by the French in that contact, but
High tackle.
penalty comes.
High tackle. 6 high. Blue, I want to see you roll away quicker, please. You're slowing the ball down. Roll away.
So Ella
What are you
Cromac
doing, 10?
puts the ball on the floor and says, "I'll take the posts, please."
Post goal.
There's only been a couple of shots on goal across all 9 matches over these 3 match days, but Amber, an underlining of the importance of this match and just how important it is for England to stay in touch with the French.
Yeah, and you just need to keep the scoreboard ticking along. Cromac's an exceptional goal kicker, and this is well within her range. But it's also a statement of intent. It means that the French have to be disciplined in their half. If this goes over or has the distance to go, it'll make them think twice about giving away anything in their half.
And it's gone over with metres to spare. Ella Cromac and her trusty right boots send England into double figures. France leading 14-10.
She's got at least 45 metres off the tee, and again, if France want to throw caution to the wind, they know that there's the potential for England to keep racking up those 3 points with the boot of Cromac.
Yeah, good.
Barat puts it into the sun. England make sure.
No.
And Cromac, short pass to McQueen. And Latui again, really getting into her groove now. McDougall takes a couple of steps and draws in the French defence before offloading. And off she goes again, all by herself. McDougall, high tackle potentially on the England 9. Not so, says Jess Kavanagh. Cromac, little jink, and go from England's 10. Certainly opening up their playbook, England, from the off. Kiwi Fitzpatrick, a straight up and down second row who has skills in the air and really robust runner of the ball. Carry from Parry. And Cromac's given herself a lot of time here
No, stay.
to send this long. Psyche, though, underneath it, little juggle.
Yeah, retreat, Blue, retreat, Blue! Blue,
And she
retreat!
engages Cromac in a kicking exchange, and Cromac wants it to be run back instead with Green. One of the most experienced players in this England team, the 15. McDougall and Cromac, and there's a little bit of space here for Parry. She sees that there's even more in behind, forcing Psyche to turn.
retreat. Keep going, Blue. Keep going. Keep moving.
Mynach doesn't let that touch her, I don't think. So England will get the line out.
Yeah.
Oh, the French, rather, it is deemed to have come off Ella Cromac.
Numbers. No. Yeah, touched by White.
England just getting on top of the kicking battle at the moment, just making really smart kicks, finding grass on the
Stay
edge,
there.
whereas the French are returning kicks,
Five
apart
called.
from that occasion, is being caught by an England player on the full and allowing them a little bit more time to make decisions. But again, I think that's going to be a really good battle that develops throughout this 80.
Lezieux on the mark. Little juggle though from Barat. McQueen almost bagged the scrum half. Talalua, one of the strongest runners in this French back division, straightens things up. And that's nicely along the line. Now here's Cogny with all that speed, and Annette Cogny surely here will get the first try of her campaign. She has threatened in every single match, but only against England has she come good to cross the whitewash.
His French back division is so dangerous. Saiki coming into the line from 15.
Yes.
Wonderful hands, just draws in the last defender. And finally Cogny gets the try that she's worked so hard for in the first few rounds, but that fix and give, Leah Green has to bite in. There's nothing Lucy Sams can do to get across with the pace of Cogny. And she finally gets her try.
Pauline Barat with no problems whatsoever from that position. 21 points to 10. The French landing a blow with every time they come forward, it seems. England replying, but the way the French are constructing these tries also most impressive.
Have a word.
It's just the accuracy in which they spread the ball wide. Everything's out in front. They've got runners hitting the line at pace.
Grandon. Good take from the player in the scrum hat. Lezieux. McDougall makes the tackle. Pisichelli plays first receiver this time, giving Suliana Sivi more time to think. And she decides to kick downfield. Leah Green sizes up the opposition and gets up to the halfway line for England. Here comes Latui. Supported well by Shirley. Cromac. Flanagan. Lucy Sams, lovely line from the blind side, and she's right through. Sams has two players to beat in front of her. Takes on Sivi, and she needs support from England's. And she gets it. Now Clifford.
No, you're off your feet.
She was at speed, and France had to watch her well.
No, you were off your feet.
Penalty coming here for England.
Hey.
What a break, though, from England's blindside
Off your
Lucy
feet.
Sams.
It was wonderful timing at the line. England have pulled the same shape a couple of times, but used a different option, and it was just the timing of that lovely out in line just catches the defence slightly off guard. And again, she almost juggled the ball on that tackle against Sivi, but managed to keep hold of it. A lovely line by Grace Clifford, and this is what England need to do. They get into the French 22 and they keep building pressure. Just blindsides that defender. Realises she shouldn't have any support, keeps hold of this ball.
She is fast, Lucy Sams. She wasn't that far away from tackling Annette
Behind the
Cogny
line.
as she came across to shut that down. She got a hand to her,
Good.
which is no mean
Thank
feat.
you.
England's from this position needing to come away with something.
Off the knee.
The French have got it back from the line out.
It's not.
I'm asking the question about a knock-on, and you can see why. Judged to have been the knee.
Use it! 9!
Barat isn't going to find touch, so England are going to start again from further out, but with Cromack and with Green, but with plenty of attentions from France.
Okay, no, you're good, number 8. You guys did not roll.
And they can at least, it's the equivalent of going down a snake when you're playing snakes and ladders. You have to go back a few layers and you can start again. Try to find the next ladder forwards.
4.
I think what's important is England are finding that ladder to go again, and they need to keep building this pressure on the French. They're on the wrong side of Jess Kavanagh. They've just got a warning, but you can see the tackler, I think it's Jean in that occasion, getting caught underneath, and they're just really slow to get out, which is buying their jacklers time to get in, but Jess Kavanagh spotting it, and they're now on a warning.
They get this line out back, not cleanly, but anyway at the moment is a good way. McDougall, Al-Latui. McQueen. England's back row really committed in the charge at the moment. Caladine likewise. McDougall picking up the pace and the runners joining her. Morale with that nice cutback. Here's Sams.
Now roll 2.
Cromack is on the left-hand side of this ruck, so it's to the right they go, and England edge closer. Knowing the importance of cashing points from this foray forward, and they get it done. And it's Grace Clifford who picks up and brushes away the opposition to score again. She is proving just how valuable she is to this England forward pack with carries like that at moments like this.
Another purposeful impact by Grace Clifford, and she definitely doesn't look like she was out the game for over 500 days before starting in that round 1 fixture. She hit a wonderful line in the build-up play off the back of Lucy Sam's break, and there she finishes off with a really strong carry over the line. But this is what England need to do. They need to keep hammering at that door. They need to keep putting this French team under pressure.
Cromack. Not on target this time. So England don't quite maximise the try, but nonetheless, 21 points to 15. They did the important thing, and they were on the scoreboard after conceding.
Jess, just slow
Barat.
the
Taken by Clifford, and right after the try,
carry on.
filled with the serotonin of scoring, and she runs into contact again. McQueen is picking some very clever lines, the open side, Amber.
No rolling. I've had a word,
Popular decision with English fans in the crowd, but France are on a warning. They've been warned that they have to clear that tackle area. But again, that's England.
So Espinoza from France is off, but England don't make the most of that penalty. It was well kept in by the French. Now the mistakes and the rushed play from France leads England to a scrum, and they're rising in confidence as much as anything right now.
You can just feel the momentum shift. France are rattled. You can see the things that were sticking before. England hot off the line. And again, you'd back Chloe Correa to catch that 9 times out of 10, but she sees the white wall coming at her, and now it's an opportunity for England to attack, really make the most of this yellow card period.
Crouch! Bind!
Espinoza as a back rower.
Set!
It means she doesn't require any readjustment of positions for this scrum to go, but they are short-staffed, particularly at the breakdown now. Parry, the Harlequin, clatters into contact. She's the least experienced in this England backline, but she's been prominent throughout this first half. McDougall, Cromack, Caladine, oh, she is driven sideways. Still comes back on England's side. Sams makes sure that she had full control of the ball, and Clifford. Cromack works this along to Latouille.
Guys, no late.
And Latouille has the attentions of the French on the floor, but it comes back again. McQueen, that just flew to the floor out of contact. France land the right tackle that dislodges the ball of Sophie McQueen.
Promising build-up play for England. Their tempo is high. They're controlling the game when they're in attack.
Substitution. Blue, 24.
One area they could look to exploit is
24.
if you lose someone in that back row, you end up scrummaging with two flankers and you leave your number 8. They're normally the one that fills that gap between the flanker that wants to fly off and the scrum. So you can see there was a disconnect there where the flanker flew off the scrum, and it's Chloe Carrere as the next player off the line, and there was probably a 5-10 metre gap just on that inside. If they wanted to look at those inside tips and flood someone through that gap, the space is there in this yellow card period.
No.
Process first.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
England get the squeeze on the French at the scrum. Barat, though, quickly moves through the gears, and Civi likewise. Latouille has got back here.
No.
Caladine. Captain's tackle from England's hooker there.
9, none of that. 9.
Talalua almost gets it back. England will be able to play from here. Parry on the ball again.
Knock on. 9. No. Don't fall into players. No falling into players. Okay?
Uncharacteristic error there from Talalua. She's been phenomenal the first 2 games. Very much the forefront of getting France on the front foot. And just not being able to keep hold of the ball there.
Set
But
up, please, guys.
England are doing such a good job at getting set. They're being physical. They're not allowing this French side to gain post-contact meters. The shots are hard. You can hear them up here in the stand, and that's what they need to do. They can't give any easy yards to this French side.
Bind!
England with the first set-piece possession against a 14-player France.
Early push. Yeah, free kick.
But they won't get that ball back. Early push from England's 8.
Yeah. Take. This is your mark. 9.
Just feel like those are the moments that England really need to capitalise on against this French side. You're not going to get many of them, but you need to utilise your chances you get.
Correa for France sets it up. Talalua loses the ball. And a couple of moments for Anemoine Talalua, where she's lost possession twice for the French in a row. And she's had such a strong campaign. She's one of their most attacking runners.
Time off.
But Anna, I suppose as well as France play, and so often everything sticks for them from what we've seen in this summer series, but their game is high risk in its very essence. So there's always the chance that they'll do nothing different to what they've done in previous matches, but one day it won't come off.
Okay, I want to see.
Yeah, and you say it's high risk, but again, like, you can mitigate that risk by how you practice. They will train this way all of the time because it is their blueprint of how the French play. This is French rugby. at its finest and they like to move it. You can tell that their skill set's high. So yes, it is risky, but the conditions are perfect. It is dry out there, and they would have practiced this style of play the whole season. But again, like you say, when it doesn't stick, that's when you can start to feel a lot of heat and feel under pressure, and you have to be able to find the fine balance between, for the next 5 minutes of this game, let's just rein it in a little bit, let's build ourselves back into the game, let's find our flow, and then you can start to open it back up. But at the moment the French are continuing to play. They probably just need a couple of minute period, especially on this yellow card, to settle, and then they can come out and re-establish that jouet rugby that we love to see.
Half time knocks for England and France.
Bind! Set!
Do the English have something left to sting France with before the first half is up? McDougall to Cromack, lovely wide pass to Parry. And Parry keeps her feet nicely to make a few more metres there. Morale, player of the match in the last round for England. And all that despite seeing yellow at one point in the first half. She really came through strongly afterwards. England's attack through Caledine ends with a penalty to France.
9. Yeah, okay.
So Barat.
Blue, use the line. Use the line.
France's number 9, who can play 10.
Make sure
And
you're
she's
on
once
side.
again shown just what a sharp operator she is at under-20s level. Skill set is a wonderful skill set to have, and she sets the French off through the middle with Toon. And she'll go herself here, almost selling the dummy, then passing on to Civi, who is caught after kicking, but not illegally. So,
Obstruction.
and when you operate at that kind of speed, Amber, even something involuntarily like that can end up as a penalty against you. England, nothing really too deliberate about it. Maybe there was a subtlety to that deliberate nature of holding her back, but they operate at such speed that anything gets exposed that you do wrong.
Yeah, and sometimes you just can't help yourself. It's that natural instinct, like you say. You put your hand out, you're losing the battle, you try and gain a slight advantage, and it gets picked up by the referee.
Yes, on the line.
Now it's a really good opportunity for France,
on the line,
who have been under the cosh for the last 10 minutes or so, to score going into half time.
Doing all this without Julie Espinosa, who's an important cog in this rolling maul of theirs. But Les Yeux
behind the line,
and France nonetheless lining up, and through Korea and Toon, they go for it. Les Yeux at the back here, it's moving well. England on the line, repel it. And Barat may decide that this needs to be up to her backs. She gives Barak the first chance. It's a shutout from England. Les Yeux is so close. Again, England withstand. Toon is next up, and it goes to Jean on the edge. And France find a way through the white jerseys to score on the very edge, despite being down to 14. It is a masterclass in managing resources from the French forward pack.
And again, it's that woman at 9 just orchestrating things. You see that England have 3 players stood in half a metre. Millie David has 2 players to mark on that edge. She's got Toon and Jean both asking for the ball, and she can't mark them both. She needs help from her inside to pull out a little bit wider. You have to mark that pick and go threat, but you have to keep your head up and have awareness of where the other French players are, and Barat just picking the right option and John profiting in that occasion.
That is good.
Barat sets this off beautifully. It's going to fall short. So the French end the half on a high, and they stretch their lead over England to 26 points to 15. And Amber, this has felt so tight all across the 40 minutes, but to look at the scoreboard and see 11 points the difference will be a difficult one for England to swallow.
Yeah, considering they definitely had the French rattled in the last 10-15 minutes, played the better rugby, probably been on top for most of the game. Just the French keeping themselves in it by attacking that English breakdown, getting a couple of crucial turnovers, even though they're onto that yellow. And then they're so dangerous from this far out. That was the first try from Barat, just fighting her way to go over that try line.
Yeah, Barat to Barak. And then Barat again. Heavily involved in France's second, but before that, Amelia McDougall carved the French open, gliding through against Tiffany Lisieux. And that was a fine score from England's scrum half. Perhaps France's most impressive attack of the half, Civi and then Pisichelli. Nate Cogny was next, and at this point France were threatening to run away with the first half. The French winger on the scoreboard for the first time in the summer series. But England dug in at that point, and several attacks later they were thwarted once or twice, but no one would thwart Grace Clifford from here. Second try of the summer series for Grace Clifford. And then to finish off, Zoe Jean held her width, and a swift pass from Barat, but all about the organisation that set it up for the French. At 26 points to 15, the French in a good position once again against England, but this English side are hanging on to France just about. They'll need to come up with something else in the second half, but they may just have it in them still. We will see. Join us for the second half coming up shortly. The French head back out on the fields. Another busy 40 minutes behind them, and in the end, they showed their typical selves in this under-20 summer series. And not just this summer series, but last year as well, where they defeated all comers, winning every match by 50 points or more, and scoring 70 against England in Parma last year. They are the only team to have never lost in the 2 years of the under-20 summer series. They haven't quite sparkled as much as they did last year, because at the end of last year's competition the talk was that, well, French under-20s rugby they'll be the team for years and years to come that will then go through to the seniors. Teams have caught up with them by at least about 20 points according to the results we've seen so far, and England are certainly showing much more ability to handle the pace at which France play. But Amber Reid, how can England go and take the next step in this second half? What do they have to do?
They had the French rattled in that first half, particularly the second, the 20-40. French got a yellow card, they were on a warning, the wrong side of Jess Kavanagh, and they just need to do more of the same. We spoke about it between us at half-time. It's the punch and counter-punch that England are throwing before they've just kind of got one bit of momentum and then ended up going backwards. They're actually playing on top of France. When they get a good carry, the next runner is stepping up. Next one, and they need to continue to do more of that. Keep this French on the back foot and don't give them an ounce to breathe, because again, if you can rattle them in defence, their attack then looks a little bit error-strewn and not as free-flowing as what we've seen so far.
26 points to 15, the French lead. England, who had a couple of blows to overcome early on, losing Annabelle Meta, their number 8. We haven't seen her since. Thought it might have been an HIA, but she hasn't come back on the field. Anna Latouille has done very well as her replacement. And then losing Jazza Donry in the second row. LJ Lewis, England's head coach, spoke so positively of both Donry and Kiwi Fitzpatrick, England's second row combination. Tyler Shirley has come on, and she has another 40 minutes to impress in England colours. Also entering the fray, Zara Green for England at half-time, wearing 18, just in our picture here.
She's really going to help that England cause. I thought she carried really well last week, got her team on the front foot.
Cromack puts England on the front foot here. They chase down Eva Toon, and under that pressure with the ball in the sun, Eva Toon, France's number 8, makes a mistake. France scoring last in the first half. England must score first in the second, and that mistake will help them towards the line.
Crouch! Bind!
Waits.
Set!
England scrum going backwards and quickly, and Espinosa was trying to get that ball back. Millie David, though, will tidy up, inject some speed around that scrum. England's can go from here with Latouille and then Lucy Sams, and they're throwing all the right shapes at the start of the second half. England, here's the new woman on in green. Parry tracked well by Talalua. McDougall and Carmela Morale with that into outline. Caladine picks up the mantle and picks up the pace, and this is where McDougall can be so dangerous around the base of the ruck. There's Zara Green now, steps out of the tackle. England's going up a notch, and Latouille going closer to the try line. McDougall looks to the right, goes to the left, big contact over the line of England, but they're going to be held up unless this is worked back, and it is. And France shutting off opportunities where they can see them.
Advantage.
Leah Green doesn't get the ball. She was lurking. England with a penalty.
Offside. 7 offside.
So from the tap and go, Tyler Shirley has the ball at her feet. Now Latui almost steps through the first challenge. England have runners big enough to power over from this distance. And Shirley nominates herself.
Release, release.
And England go once more. Flanagan was helping out there. It's going to be worked along the line. Morale tracked again well by Nate Cogny. Big size difference there, but the French winger lands her target. Spinning and turning is Green. That carrying
Still got the
ability
advantage
for all
for
to see there. Now McQueen charges.
Tackle!
And it's there, the ball is quick. England pour forward and over the line and scoring. And they were patient. And they made sure they manoeuvred their pieces in the right way. And in the end, it was inevitable.
Blue.
But England had to be very, very precise at that moment. And Sophie McQueen takes the pats on the back. England's staying in touch at the start of the second half, and they had to.
Espinosa straying offside, which gave them the penalty advantage, but it's the quality of the England clearers at the moment that are allowing them to play with the freedom and the momentum, especially in and around that French try line. The first person is coming over low, coming over hard, and they're clearing past the breakdown over the ball. Second person's in quickly, securing. Ball is there on a plate for the next person to come, and McQueen is the one that profits from that. Ball's at the base, picks it up, and she goes over the line.
McQueen and Lucy Sams in combination there at the base, I think.
Time off.
They were picking and going and feeding off each other, and it might have been Sams that put it down. The important thing is the scoreline for England, 26-22. Just what they had to do. Hopkins risks the pass, and it's a calculated risk. Lucy Calladine was getting the ball back. The afters here between Correa and Kiwi Fitzpatrick.
Yes, I've got 5.
They both wear number 5. They're not exactly going to allow their opposing number to gain even an inch.
Captain.
Even off the ball.
Just not you. Not you. Right.
Let's listen in here to Jess Kavanagh.
Okay. First half is good. Yeah. You're now, England, clearing past the rep too far for me. Okay. So that was a prime example. No more.
Yep.
Okay. Have a word, please.
Thanks, Raf. Appreciate it.
Okay. It's a penalty.
So I spoke about how hard and fast that first England clear is coming in, but there is a very fine line between coming in and driving a metre beyond the ruck, which is well within the laws of the game. However, Kiwi Fitzpatrick there just being penalised by taking Chloe Carrera way past the breakdown, out of the vicinity, and Jess Kavanagh rightly pinged her up. It's against the laws and given France a great position here.
Open up, Blue, open up.
This would really take the sting out of England's flying beginning to the second half. Ball shifted back, but it does go to the floor, and the knock on England are going to
contact in the air, penalty
free.
here. Okay, penalty. No, this is the mark.
Or are they? Because the penalty's been awarded after that. Barat to the corner, backing her
Contact
forwards.
in the air, girls. Same. On the line.
Alina Folitu is on the field here. She is so dangerous from a rolling ball here. She'll plug into the back of this, and she's already up to the line. Folitu to score this for the French, and that really was coming, and that really can't be stopped. The French so smooth at transitioning from the line out to the maul to the try line. It's a familiar journey that Alina Folitu makes, and she's made it again.
She is prolific at the back of that maul. Tries a plenty in this tournament so far. They get a second chance because of that contact in the air, and they don't need a third. England try their best to disrupt, but the French stay connected. And Folly too, really good job at controlling the ball at the back of that maul.
Brilliantly sized up by Pauline Barat. A1 from the tee, from France's scrum half. So the 11-point lead for the French restored. And England kick off, and the claim is not made again, and there's a familiar pattern to the second half so far.
France have got away with one there. This should be a penalty because the player in front of the player who dropped the ball picks it up. And whether she meant to or not, she's offside, and this should be a penalty to England. Big let off for the French here.
Jess,
Yep.
the ball carrier, we've got no evidence to show that it's a knock-on, but the person who picked the ball up
TMO intervention
was in front
from
of
Jenny Davis is going to,
so that'd be a penalty.
I think, uphold your opinion, Amber Reid.
Yeah.
Time off. Sorry, Treeks. Penalty to England. Ball in, offside off the catcher.
So France are offside at the catch.
Okay, offside. Thank you. Time back on. Thank you, Treacle.
Cormac wastes no time in knocking it into the corner. England penalty. You're still influential, Amber Reid, even from the sidelines.
I think the TMO has been criticised a couple of times in this tournament about having too much of an impact on games, but that for me was a perfect intervention. Play went on, came in at the right time with a great decision.
Kiwi Fitzpatrick with a great leap here, and England get this going. Sliding towards the line for the French.
No.
They're having to reset.
Advantage.
And that momentum just stops for England, but they were there anyway. They were within range, and they score. And these two forward packs taking pieces out of each other right now. England land a blow, and that is so important to their chances.
Morag does their best to try and get in the English side of that maul through the middle, but they stay composed, they stay tight enough to not let her through and have an impact on that ball carrier.
Cormac well within range for England's 10. Just hits the crossbar, or rather the upright. So 33 points to 27. France lead England in the last match of this Six Nations Under-20 Summer Series.
What a test match. And I think this is going to come down to the depth in either squad. Can you make changes? Can they raise the tempo of this game? Can they make a real impact?
Barat knocks this forward, and Hopkins very secure under that. Haven't seen Sophie Hopkins at all in an attacking sense.
No, release.
She just does her job when she's called upon.
Got to release.
Chloe Flanagan with a good carry, the loose head. That's a good break, isn't it? But forward to Sophie McQueen. But McQueen and Sams have got through not just a lot of work, but they've made big impacts in all areas of the game.
Yeah, they've done their job at the breakdown, at the scrum, at the maul, but it's their running and open play, they're finding those soft shoulders, lovely late movement at the line, playing off their playmakers who are going to create space for them, Unfortunately, just drifts forward there, just overruns the pass from Cromack slightly, but that's what can happen if you give McQueen and Sams an inch. They are going to take it and they are going to make you pay.
Bind! Sit!
The French pull this to the left-hand side. Barat and Civi, and she was hoping there was a runner just to her left. Instead, it was Ella Cromack. Latui. Morale. England's looking over to this corner because this is where Millie David is, and David sets off. She's tackled, and just for a moment it looked like there might be enough space for England's Millie David to show her speed. It was quickly shut down.
Yeah, again, if you've got a player of
Back 10, please,
Millie
White.
David's pace, you want to give her the ball early and allow her to take off, but Granholm of equal match there, just marshalling her well, using the touchline.
Barat to Civi, and the French already moving this into midfield. Talalua, lovely pass to Pisichelli. This is Psyche, she looks to step forward. England's cover defence is good. Pisichelli though, does for a couple of England defenders there. Zoe Jean now straightens.
No, it's fine, ball is there.
And Talalua once more. McDougall
You're off your feet, White.
just did her
Leave
best
it.
to slow her down. The French attack does slow down momentarily, but they've still got numbers here. Cogny will put speed on things, and her legs are taken. France close to England's line with Barat. And England have to line up the numbers carefully here. Barat's open to all options here. Felitu is the go-to.
Back
The
foot,
hooker.
White. Back foot.
Barat, crossfield kick. Cromack has touched it.
Advantage,
And
knock on.
that is a knock-on, but just getting anything on that at that point was what was needed from Ella Cromack. Had she not, that would have bounced into French hands, most probably.
Jacko.
England
First
defence
thing you
getting
do
caught
is
really
hand
narrow
on the
there.
floor.
Barat again, we've spoken about her as a classy operator with the vision to look up. She creates tries for other people, just probably doesn't quite get hold of the kick as well as what she would have wanted to. She would have wanted to hit it a little bit longer, a little bit flatter into her winger's hands, but Cromack does just enough there to get across and cover that space.
I will move.
She's had to come
for you.
from a long way.
Okay.
Unfortunately doesn't take it, but like you say, saves a potential try for the French.
Might be the most important knock-on of Ella Cromack's career so far.
Come up. Okay. This is the mark. Okay.
However, had she
Yeah.
taken that cleanly, then there
Don't-
would have been
don't
no
creep
one
up.
ahead of her
Okay.
in French
You don't want
ranks.
too close. Okay. Right, let's reset then, guys. Please
Very
reset.
balanced moment in this match. The upshot. France with a set piece,
Crouch.
15 metres from England's line.
Bind. Sit.
Barat gets the ball. Pisichelli goes herself this time. England eventually get her down. Coming around the corner quickly was Vauclin. Correa is at the base of that ruck. Barat stretches this to Psyche. Cogny is again on the edge. Can she finish from here? She keeps it alive. England get their hands on it.
No hands.
And it's England ball. Right on the try line. And Nate Cogny
Counter is good.
thwarted again, but the French are still there looking to touch it down with Espinoza. And the ball was there for the French flanker. And she had to move it all of 2 inches forward. And the French get in at the corner. They just didn't give up on that one.
England just getting caught a little bit narrow again. Sarah Parry managed to do a great job at turning that ball over.
Yeah.
A bit of a mass of bodies in there. There's no one over the ball at the ruck, so it's out. Espinosa's well within her rights to play it, and like you say, moves it all of 2 metres to go over in the corner.
Pauline Barat has gone so close again, but the scores, at least in terms of the points difference, stay as they were at the half-time mark. 38-27, 11 points the difference. As we come towards the hour mark, England make a few changes. Nothing has really changed since half-time. England just with less time to overhaul the French, but still plenty of time to do so. Cromack knocks this deep, and France pull this away. They are doing everything they need to. Every time England have asked for a response, France have given one.
Take them back in.
And they're doing it under more pressure than they've felt across the course of this year's summer series. And they're sticking also to their identity as well. It is still expansive play from France. It is still exciting and with a degree of risk as well. McDougall. Little show from the scrum half. Tyler Shirley. Every time she has had a little foray forward, McDougall has caused the French problems. Fitzpatrick with a good carry. Then Latouille. French penalty though for holding on the floor.
There was a hint of an opportunity there for England. Rather than hit that forward pod, they were space wide. The French defenders closest to your screen were screaming for their fold to come round because they were short. But instead, England played through their pod off 9, and it's a great work at the breakdown again by the French, just stealing that ball.
Okay, cool. So, you use the line for me. Line.
Fully two. And the French back row rise at the back of the line out, and France are away into the midfields. Jean lifted up, but smuggles the ball backwards. Barat always looks like she's aware either side of the ruck where the space is. Here it's to the left, and Cogny wanted that a little early. She gets it alive with Folitou, and it's still with the French, still with Barat. That's a nice wraparound ball with Roboam, the captain, and number 4.
17 white, offside.
England's Amelia Williams
17
penalised
white.
by referee Jess Kavanagh.
Here. Okay. 17 offside. Okay. I was playing advantage. You want to go
points
post?
to the posts. And that underlines their intent, Amber, to really put more points distance between themselves and England.
Yeah, it takes them two tries clear. Barat, the kicker, really decisive, pointed at the post straight away. Believes she's got this distance in her locker. She's kicked well across this tournament so far.
Most straightforward angle to kick on goal of the match for her. And it's just short. Again, no problem with the accuracy. Leah Green with plenty of metres to run to pull the ball away for England. McDougall. Latouille. She's so often been there for her scrum half to get her out of a tight spot. Here's Fitzpatrick, increasingly present Off the side of the ruck is the lock forward.
No, it's fine.
Parry, that's lovely from Sarah Parry, she's away. Sivi Suliani is tracking her. Great run from Parry. McDougall, interception though, it's Pisichelli, and it's all the way home for Pisichelli and for France. She has picked England off and landed the blow that will surely see France home now. England on the attack, and that's when the French strike.
Eve, I'll have a drink.
It was a wonderful break by England. 2 good carries, pull the trigger. Sarah Parry just gliding out the back, finding that seam between the edge winger and her centre pairing on the inside. Showed really good composure to keep hold of the ball, and you can tell then the French, it's the blueprint of their transition. They love to attack.
That is good.
They like to get that line break and then they go wide. Pisichelli reads it so well. She's looked really lively for me throughout this game. Had some really lovely touches, already scored a try.
Second half.
And she just reads the fact that England want to go wide early, and she gets in that passing channel. And she's already shown that she's got the pace to finish it. And she does so for her second try of the game.
Barat knocks it over. It's 7 points for the French. It's 45 points to 27 for France. So many different ways to the try line. France seem capable of finding all of them across an 80-minute match.
Blues. Just make sure they don't
It's
go
a lovely defensive read and a great finish.
2 beyond the ruck.
Now this is the real tester. England, what have you got in the locker to keep coming out and putting France under pressure? Can you close this deficit?
French getting in a spot of confusion at reclaiming the ball, but they,
22.
in the end, reply with some distance on the kick.
Use the line for me.
Fitzpatrick in the middle is the option. Good ball, but not straight ball.
Not straight. Option. Scrum. Come a little bit closer, thank you.
Can England hang on to the French here?
Crouch!
And stop them taking away the scoreboard completely.
Set!
Because in this kind of mood, it can happen all too quickly. Barat drops it though. And that is a reprieve.
Very uncharacteristic from Pauline Barat, but as you can see, it just gets stuck in that. And that's credit to the English forwards putting the French under pressure, not allowing them to go over the top of that ball and give Barat
no pushing.
Clean service at the base for her to attack from.
Both. I'll now move out your way. Crouch! Bind! Set!
A chance for England to make the French pay here. But it's French dues being paid right now. The flag backing up and forcing England to concede a penalty.
Gotta love it when your 10 comes in to celebrate as hard as the front row at a scrum penalty.
So Pauline Barat's individual mistake covered by her pack. As rare as they are, nice for her to know that
Take a step for me.
the forwards are watching out for her.
Thank you.
And what a player they have on their hands in this 9 shirt for France, for right now, for years to come as well. Do have a particular ability to bring scrum halves through in France, don't they? And Barat, another one in exactly the ilk of everyone who's come before. Now the French peeling off, form of Chloe Vauquelin, Civi. This is Shelley. David coming up to try and cause a few problems, then she tracks back and almost gets Grandhomme. Here's Espinosa. Civi. Charged down by Tyler Shirley, and she sets her sights on making meters. England with her, and McDougall and Fitzpatrick. And France now realign. Sophie Hopkins going after this. Well played Tyler Shirley for the charge down and the change of possession. But England unable to capitalise on that.
On the line for me, England, okay?
And a great decision to carry as well. You can see the support players calling for the ball, but she decides to just keep hold. There were French players in that passing channel. Just allowed England another opportunity to get at the French.
Okay, I'll watch.
Fully to tap back, and it's back with the French. And this is Shelley, full of excitement, and Barat now found on the outside. She's made way at scrum half for Ines Zeze, who's wearing 20, and here she is on the ball.
Backwards for me.
Grandhomme dumped to the floor by England.
Take them back in.
Civi.
Retreat, Blue, retreat, retreat.
Cromack underneath this. And David.
Check.
England just haven't got enough ball to Millie David today for all her speed.
Time off.
It's been too rare a sight to see Millie David ball in hand.
She's also been well marshalled when she has had ball in hand. The French have closed her down really well, getting numbers there, staying connected on that inside, not allowing her to step back in, to use her pace. They've done a really good job, and especially when Hopkins gets the ball as well. Again, 2 French players there, making sure that they can't dance their way through and get that line break.
11 White tackling the French player. So watch her right shoulder.
So this is what's being looked at. Millie David on Pauline Barat, and certainly there is head contact.
Yes. So I'm seeing foul play. She could have definitely dropped her height. I'm also seeing head contact. I've made a decision. It's yellow card.
Player, happy with the player?
I'm happy with that. Yeah. Is that all right, Treeks?
Agree.
Number 11. Captains, please. 11 White. Okay, so it's foul play. Okay, there's head contact from you, so it's a yellow card.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sandra, talk us through the decision-making process there and
Yes.
why we're seeing Millie David off the park.
Just give me one
Yeah,
second.
so she's come high up into that defensive line and then had to go out quite a
19
long way
blue.
to cover that, and Barat just
19
pulls a
blue.
big step off her right
This
foot.
is the mark here.
And
20
Millie David just hasn't dropped her height. She's having to cover so much space that she's just gone in a bit high. She's gone chest. Barat's not the tallest player either, but there is head on head in that space. She has
Okay,
connected with
subs done.
chest first, but again, we need to
Jess,
mitigate that head-on-head
Mark
contact
is
for the
10
safety of the
metres up from
players.
where you are.
Millie
Up,
David just needs to
forwards,
drop her height as she
towards
tracks
the 10
across the
metre.
pitch there.
So there.
Okay, here. Head contact.
So a chance of seeing Millie David with more ball, eliminated for the next 10 minutes at least.
Yeah, yes,
And
thank
England
you.
will have to cover
Open up, open up.
the absence of their speedster on the left wing. 70 minutes on the clock now. And the French not getting things quite right at the line. So McDougall rushes forward and collects it.
Off a foot.
And
Off a
Matui
foot, that's fine.
didn't knock it on, remarkably. Just went straight off her foot, so England still have the ball. Cromack with the pass to Millie Hyatt, who's on in the 22 shirt.
Offside. Yeah. Time off. Just got a missing shoe.
Amelia McDougall's lost her boot amongst it all, so she gets a chance to put it back on.
Good discipline by the French players not to launch that another 20 metres down the field, which you see quite often.
And that's an elite way of wasting some time
Yeah, of course.
from Amelia McDougall, whilst the
The mark
players
is
in the
here.
sin bin.
Okay, yeah.
That's the thing though, like you
Time back on.
generally try and run the clock down a little bit when you've got a yellow card, but in England's position there's 10 minutes left to play and they're down on this scoreboard. They have to still attack this game, and one way they can do it, they've lost their winger and a speedster in Millie David, but they have a pack that has performed so well so far in this game, and this is a real inroad as to where they can get stuck into this French team.
Caladine still on the park and looking to throw in at this line at the captain. Fitzpatrick
Oh! 23 out!
claims it well. Latui,
No, 23, no!
the first player
No,
in here.
get out!
And
Thank
now
you.
Lucy Sams joins and brings the ball away. Makes headway in the end. Dougal waits. Caladine revs her engine. Physical carry from England's captain. Fitzpatrick again. England going to the same names in this set to make dents. Here goes Amelia Williams. That's a big carry. But we'll come back here. There's a big injury here for France, and they're calling on the medics quickly.
Jack.
I'm not entirely sure up here which French player it is, but certainly the referee and
Jess,
French
just to update you on
players were
what's
quick
happened.
to stop playing.
5 has made a
So
tackle on
treatment
the
could
white
be
5,
sought.
but she's just put her head in the wrong position.
Okay,
There's no foul play. Just
Okay.
thought you'd want to know what's happening.
so we are going to start with scrum for England, but the ball is where they got to, and then that's where we'll start with, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Looks like a head injury potentially is what they're checking, which is why the game was stopped. Generally other injuries that the game's allowed to play on, but because it is a head, just checking that Chloe Correa is okay,
Captain?
making sure the medics can get on and work in a safe manner, but a bit of a reprise for France because England were definitely on a rumble there, definitely on the front
So there's
foot.
no foul play, yeah? England going forward, so we'll start with a scrum here. Blue 5. 5 off HIA.
Oh, that wasn't the
No.
incident. This might be, though.
Girls that stay in, that stay low.
Time back on.
She's going to take
Okay.
her
Scrum.
time to go on the
England.
sidelines. Another player who's been brilliant for the French.
The mark is here. Yeah, that's fine.
Might be the
That's fine.
pick of the forwards, and there's been plenty of contenders there for France, but Chloe Correa has been that good.
Second.
Crouch!
For England, though, their task to get over the try line again
Bind!
and maybe sneak up on the rails on this French team if they can do that. Laturi picks and goes, penalty comes, no advantage.
Yeah.
McDougall looks to go quickly though. Zara Green making sure she was there. Flanagan.
No roll 18.
Once again, England
No back
choosing
foot.
to go through those in the forward pack to get this done. They've
On your feet.
proven their record at doing so in this match. Shirley is close. Good drive again from Tyra Shirley.
Short!
Amelia Williams
Short!
rolling,
Leave it now. Leave it. Come blue,
Not
please. Short.
placing it on the line, so it comes
Yeah.
back.
Front.
Shunt
back.
after
On the
shunt
line.
from England.
Back.
Get there.
Back.
It's up to the backs now. Cromack just can't kick it away because Barat was right up,
24.
almost taking the
offside.
ball out of her hands.
Where's the
She
mark,
was so
Mary?
close, Pauline Barat.
Okay.
But
Offside.
why was she
24.
so close?
No more now.
Because she may well have been several yards offside. McDougall again looks to the forwards, and Ala Latui. French players
release!
clinging on to her. Pick to the left now. And they go again, and England surely here. They cross. It is precise from England. Can it fire a late charge for England against France? It's Sophie McQueen that does it. Cromack with the conversion. England not done yet.
The Queen's been lethal in those positions, her and Sam's. Just look at her body height, she goes low, gets an assist. Amelia Williams helping her out there over the line.
Sorry.
Try is good.
Yeah. They have 30 seconds. Ten.
Scoring that try was down to 14 England, and without Millie David it was part of the equation to go to the forwards because of that. They're understaffed in the backs. They've got to get 80 metres upfield and do it once more and do it quickly. And Ala Latui knows the urgency there, making that last carry. Fitzpatrick,
Ball is there.
ever ready, isn't she? Kiwi Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I think she's had a fantastic game. She's looked for work, she's been abrasive, she's done well in the air.
McDougall is scragged. Didn't risk throwing that pass. Sams tries to re-stabilise England.
Taken back in.
Cromack's boot is going to have to
Retreat,
relieve
please,
the
White.
pressure here. But Barat, with friends around her, sizes up England's defence. Conyi, tackled by Zara Green. Onto things is Philippe. Alessia Philippe for the French. Barat now at fly half, popping up everywhere. Suliani, Pisichelli, and now Grandhomme racing and looking for the line herself here, if she can keep the power on after cutting in.
Tackle!
Great run from the right winger for France. Now the French can categorically put the match out of sight with any points here. Folitou.
Tackle!
Scrum half Zezek. Looks for the captain Roboin. Zezek switches direction again. Barat calling the shots and using the forwards outsider. The pick up and goal, and France are there. And Elina Folitou. So the French hitting the right numbers again
You asked time
and
to the end of the
surging
game.
towards
We
the
have
line.
played.
They can't be
Okay.
stopped when they're in this kind of mood. Folitou incredibly with a 5th try, and she scored all her tries in matches in which she hasn't started, which is most impressive. A 5th of the campaign.
30.
Very impressive stats. But it's the first time the French have really had that edge attack. Whilst Millie David's been off the park, Grandhomme getting a really lovely break down that right hand side, and then the forwards doing the work. And every time Folitou's had a chance in and around that England try line, she's taken it, whether that be from the base of a ruck or from a maul. She's been prolific.
Try is good.
Pauline Barat, on the topic of prolific, adds another couple of personal points
Number,
to the pile.
please,
52 points to 34. The French, in the end, putting water between themselves and England. Cromack resets, and underneath it, Pauline Barat kicks to touch. And Amber, so many candidates, I suppose, but
Sorry?
in terms of player of the match, what do you think?
I can't hear you.
Sams and McQueen in the back row for England have performed admirably, worked so hard,
Open up,
got
open
tries, got points for their team, made line breaks. But in terms of the French, I think Barat's had another great game from scrum half. But for me, my player of the match, Faustine Pisichelli, I think she scored 2 tries herself, made some wonderful breaks.
Lucy Sams, one of those candidates. She keeps on trucking and making yards, and so too does Zara Green. She's done very well off the bench. But when they get too close to the line, the French seem to have an ability to thwart England
Time is
more
off.
often than they've
9.
been scored against.
We have an injury.
Have a
Okay.
pause here because Lucy Sams is injured in that last contact. So Faustine Pisichelli, your player of the match, Emma.
Yes, I think she's had some really classy touches. She's shown really good pace when she's broken the line.
14,
She's
blue.
created opportunities
14,
for herself and for
blue.
others. She's scored 2 tries.
14.
She's released her outside backs when she's had the opportunity to. So I think she is my player of the match.
And she's become more and more influential in the French team, hasn't she? Didn't start the first match, but then played wonderfully in the last outing. And today, getting to see her with Suliana Sivi as well, that has worked nicely.
Yeah, and I think it must be tough coming into that French midfield. Obviously, game 1, the French performed so well, and
No,
part
it's
of
a
that
penalty
axis
for
was that
holding on.
midfield. They
Okay.
lost Masipi, their captain, to an injury, and she stepped into that role, and she's grown into it as well. And I think she's
Time back
performed
on.
so well in this game across the park. She's defended well, but attacked and taken her chances.
The French looking to attack again. Look at Lucy Sams off the floor and stepping back into the ring. A mighty collision from England's back rower. The French, though, breaking free off the back of it. Good support line. And they're still wanting to play. And these last minutes of the contest, full of ambition from the French. England, though, and McQueen and they've been two of England's best performers today. 6 and 7, McQueen and Sams, absolutely brilliant. Parry, another good carry from the Harlequin, and Latui.
High tackle, 8.
High tackle on her. Daisy Aspinall wants to get things moving.
Number 8.
And Cromack wants to keep this with the forwards and control things. England with a full complement once again.
2. England 2. 4. Tag.
Simpson on at hooker.
Advantage.
Gets it to McQueen. And can England come through with another try to bank here? Aspinall. Cromack, Millie Hyatt just doesn't find the intended
No, contact
Zara Green.
here. No. Sorry. On the 15. It's contact on the 15 here. Open. Thank you. No, open up, please.
Now from 15 metres away, a second chance. Fitzpatrick lifts McQueen this time, and England are ready and present to pile in. Aspinall. Big pass out to Hyatt. He'll have to jump to take it. To reset there. Good take from Lucy Simpson. Latui bringing in Sams. And the French making sure they are ready to take down Lucy Sams.
No.
And then they pile through, but the spin and turn from England. Aspinall. Sams. The endless battery of Lucy Sams is still delivering. Julie Espinoza thundering into contact for the French. They are defending this line with all the desperation that they've shown all game, and they're going to defend it.
No
Latui is
advantage. Collapsing
not backwards.
them all.
Penalty though.
Yes, collapsing them all. Okay. Collapsing them all. Yeah.
Cromack to touch.
No more now, France. No more.
What a
no
hit
more.
by Toon on the Tui. It's not
Open
very
up.
often you see that in a game, but a fantastic opportunity now for this English pack to get over the line.
Another tilt at the line out, rolling maul. Fitzpatrick brings it down Latui, and the English pack break off and they cross, and they'll end on this high of the forwards ransacking the French from close quarters. It's going to be France's day. They have been immeasurably the best team in the competition, but this English forward pack have taken them on at every opportunity, and once again they have ripped right through them. The try being scored by Zara Green.
And that'll please LJ Lewis. Even though you're down on the scoreboard, you still want to see your team fighting to the very end, because in those close matches it's that grit, that mentality that's going to carry you through to those victories. So for England to go across, for the forwards to keep fighting, it's so important moving forward for the future.
The final whistle in Ystrad, Mynach,
They can't scream.
and it is the French who have ended the summer series as the only undefeated team in the competition. England beaten 52 points to 39. And this development pathway proving for the second year in a row how much talent is coming through at under-20s level, but proving also that the majority of the success is with a French flavour. They have been irresistibly good. Not quite as many points against opponents as they did last year, and this result highlighting that, England getting much closer to the French than they did 12 months ago. But they are still the team to beat, and a team which can't be beaten.
A final score for England was scored by number 18, immediately going to Zara 3. Great attempt right at the end there. Final score though is France 52, England 39.
A track back through the many tries we've got. We'll do a job to get through all of these before the presentations here, because there were so many. 8 from the French, 6 from the English.
Rugby action as well. We won't be able to put on this string of games without your support.
And this is how England got on the scoreboard with Amelia McDougall. And from the English perspective and the positives that they'll take out of this, what would you highlight particularly for LJ Lewis and her team?
England's best display of the series so far against a very good French side, but you look at the success based on year to year, you see teams closing the gap on the French, and this English performance, they went toe-to-toe with France for the majority of this game. France created a couple more opportunities, but lots of positives for this English. I think the pack across the board, we highlighted Sams and McQueen, who were fantastic, but the pack as a whole, the driving maul, the line out, the set piece, the momentum that they gained their team in the game, a massive positive to take forward. So yeah, lots for the coaching staff to pick apart, but I think the development year on year really shows that pathway is growing, and that's what's important for the future of the game in England.
And from the French perspective, not in time, of course, for this year's World Cup. Well, you wouldn't expect many players, if any, I suppose, to get a late call-up, but who knows? Going forward and bringing that into the senior level for the French, what do you expect that this kind of under-20s group, not this one, but last year as well, and the years to come, will change for the French at international level?
Yeah, and the stat is 14 players from last year's summer series have gone on to gain their senior caps, and I expect the majority of this under-20s French side to go on and do the same. They've got that professional air about them, they manage the game well, they play smart rugby, but they play a flamboyant style of rugby with a high skill set and high accuracy. So again, all the values that you want to see in that senior side. So yeah, I expect to see a lot of these names that we've seen play today in that senior side gaining their first cap in the next couple of years.
And then, Amber, if you remember your time as an under-20, just how different is the fitness level, the skill level to when you were playing? And I'm expecting, of course, there to be a difference. Not to say there weren't many skillful players in your year. Of course there were. Look who's come through for England since then. But the quality that we're seeing, how do you compare the two eras?
I guess in terms of the players that are out there now, the training age of them is a lot lower than that of an average senior player. So they have a higher skill set because they've worked on their skills for so much longer. They've had so many more hours backing up those skills in terms of practice. Their gym work, they've had more time to gym, to be more physical, to work on their fitness. So it is a massive step up from this 20s level to the seniors. But you'll see hopefully that the majority of these players will go in and they will play in that PWR, and that allows that smoother transition to then get into seniors, because again, that PWR is the next step up. You've got those senior England players plus senior players from other countries across the world playing in one of the best leagues, and it's a great opportunity for these young players to pit themselves against some of those world-class players to see where they're at and where they fit in.
So at the end of time here on match day 3 in Ystrad, Mynach in the Rhymney Valley in South Wales, it is a very good night from us. Amber Reid, thank you very much for your company across the course of the 3 match days. It's been great to have your company as well, wherever you've been watching on from around the world and wherever you've been supporting. It has finished with a French blue wash once again. They beat the English 52 points to 39 to be the only team to go 3 from 3 in this year's Under-20 Six Nations Summer Series. Well, that's all from us here in Ystrad Mynach. We will see you soon on some screen very shortly, I'm sure, in this massive summer of rugby for women's rugby. Until then, goodbye.